So, thank you. See, I gotta do the best that I can to be, what's considered to be, I don't know how to explain it, man. Man, these motherfuckers out here, bro, we ain't gotta try to, go above and beyond, but it is kind of good that you do to win them over. The places that I frequent. Look at the Caucasian man in love with me. He's like, just keep staring at me. I'm like, why are you staring at me, bud? Why are you staring at me? They doing it big. That restaurant's overrated though, man. I ain't gonna lie. What's this called? Wingstop, but they making major money now, bro. They making major money now. Fuck. Little hole in the wall. I don't even see how they are able to cook in there. What's next door? Ooh, look at that one. Nah, but you know, that's trouble, dude. I ain't fucking with that. It's just fine, but it's not worth it. Do not get thrown off your path, and she wouldn't give me a chance anyway, so we ain't got no problem. But yeah, what's going on with y'all, man? I'm trying to talk to y'all. Y'all see me making my videos. Y'all see me making my videos. I'm out here in the trap. Let's see what we got going on. We got boxing coming on tonight. Got me a big ass thing of pasta. I'm ready to go in the trap and handle my business. I gotta get some ice. If I went there, I don't know what I would go there for. I don't think I'll ever go back. This shit tastes like trash to me. I didn't like it. I mean, Wingstop is overrated to me. It's right here next door to this pasta. We eat spaghetti with extra meat sauce, and then I'm going over to Rosa's to get my meat because I like their meat, you know. I get the meat by itself and mix it up in the spaghetti and meatballs. No, I ain't get meatballs. Spaghetti with extra sauce and mix their meat up. And I don't even like it because, you know, it's, you know, I like chicken, but I've never been like, I like chicken. Because I ate that yesterday. It was okay, but it wasn't all that. You know, you can make some oodles and noodles and break the Whopper. You go get the meat from Whopper, just the patty, and cut that up and put that on in your oodles and noodles with some mixed vegetables. If you like to do jello cooking, you know what I'm saying? That shit delicious. Put your little bit of A1 sauce on there. It'd be like you eating steak. Because it's charbroiled. This is the time of the year I hate. The pollen is high, and I got the sniffles. It's always something in the back of my mind because there's a predator lurking the earth around us. Every fucking where I go, there's a predator. Just on some weird shit, like trying to hunt us. Now I look at the Asian people, I look at the Mexicans, I look at them, they don't pay no attention to the black unless you like, you know, happy-go-lucky or whatever. They look at you and then they put their head down or they ignore you completely. I walked in here, here's this man. When they came, the white couple right here, I think they gay, I ain't gonna lie, I swear to God. two males, older white men, walked in here together. They greeted them. So I know he knows how to be nice. With me, mean mugging. No affect. Straight face. So there's been a lot of turmoil. I know this white guy from somewhere more than just here. He delivers food here. What do we got? What was that? Oh, Jason Black. He's going to be playing in the background. He's going to be playing in the background. Oh, that's my bad. I got two different devices on. I got Pandora on. My bad. That's R. Kelly. Hold on. Okay. We'll get back. Here we are.
It reveals to the world what you really are, and hard is what it does. And right now, the Democratic Party in particular, and their bootleg media in specific, boy, they're feeling the heat, they're feeling the pressure.
It's me.
And adversity is simply revealing who and what they are, and it's everything that I've always been telling you it was there. Everything I've been telling you it was. Now, what I want to do, what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to start with something a little bit different. Actually going to start with something a little bit different here. By the way, before I even get started here tonight, fair use, Roland, is going to be fair use all of your ass
That's
tonight.
Right. You
fair use, Roland.
Shit, and
Roland Martin went and talked to General Onray. Now, for those of you who either don't remember or you're too young and you weren't born, General Onray in 2005, when the levees broke in New Orleans because of Hurricane Katrina, states in disarray, George W. Bush is out to lunch perpetually. They brought in the National Guard, and General Onray, they brought in the National Guard and the Army and everything else. And General Onray was basically put in charge down there in New Orleans. So here we are, 2 decades later, and General Onray is still out there, alive, not exactly kicking.
Damn.
But he's got a few things to say here. Roland apparently found his phone number somewhere in mothballs, so we went to go get
10 years.
General Onray. General Onray has had some choice words and choice comments to make here. Boy, I'm telling you. He's had some choice comments to make, and what I want to do is I want to play for you some of what he said when he talked to Roland.
All my licenses are up to
By the
date.
way, once again here,
all my bills are
in case you forgot, by the way, Roland, fair use for you here as well. Please don't ask me about the tongue thing. It's just, I don't know, it's all these old folk out here, they get out here, they're doing their thing.
I really am telling you,
away they go.
Man.
But here is General Onray talking about basically Biden after the debates and what should be done.
The lives of the convicted criminal, they beat their own guy up. And I wish James Carville allowed the convicted felon that's running for the White House to spend an hour and a half spewing lies. I don't think he said one thing that was true. As opposed to the Democrats circle the wagon and focus on the lives of the convicted criminal, they beat their own guy up. And I wish James Carville and that Obama crowd and that Clinton crowd that get all the time on television, shut the hell up. If you're not going to support Biden, shut the hell up. Attack the other guy.
Got big old
I'm going to say it. I'm definitely going to say it. You got to watch out for these niggas.
Come on.
What?
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to say it.
Yes,
I'm definitely going to say it.
Back up.
You got to watch out for these old niggas.
Right.
You got to watch out for them. Boy, you leave them by themselves for a little while. Let them sit out there and leave them by themselves for a little bit. Gray hairs start coming in. Boy, I'm telling you, it's just, they start reverting across the board. So, folks, you thought we were going to get away from it. Oh, Jason, is you really going to say that? He was down in Louisiana. No, he got to catch this fade. No, you got to watch out for these old niggas. And he's showing you exactly why it is that you will be required to do so. Now, I want to play this and let you all hear what he had to say here, because he actually goes into another part here which actually dovetails right off of what I just said.
And focus on the lives of the convicted criminal that beat their own guy up. And I wish James Carville and that Obama crowd and that Clinton crowd that get all the time on television, shut the hell up. If you're not going to support Biden, shut the hell up. Attack the other guy. If you can't say nothing good, shut the hell up and focus on the other guy. That's what we got to do and get the vote out, because we got to get the young people excited about coming out to vote.
We got to get the young people excited about coming out to vote. General Onray, 4 years ago, Bowling Ball Martin was telling us all that we didn't have to worry. All y'all young folk talking about not voting, well, don't worry, it's going to be all the old folks who going to shore that up. All of them are going to be taking care of that. So, you sitting there on the program with the fellow who said it don't matter what the young folk do. The old folks going to take. Biden just need the old people. But Biden don't need any y'all young folk. He gonna get the old people to do that. Okay.
I never.
Wait, General Onray, yeah, you might want to think that over a little bit. But by the way, y'all, it gets worse. It gets worse.
That I would see a time.
It actually does get worse.
Obama crowd and that Clinton crowd that get all the time on television, shut the hell up. If you're not going to support Biden, shut the hell up. Attack the other guy. If you can't say nothing good, shut the hell up and focus on the other guy. That's what we got to do and get the vote out, because we got to get the young people excited about coming out to vote. The young people can save the democracy in the United States, and that's what we need to be talking about.
General, I've never served in the military because I don't do well taking orders.
No. You've never served in the military because you can't get to a healthy BMI. No. Let's not say that right there. I ain't served in the military because I'm not good at taking orders. Yeah, but apparently you think you're excellent at giving them. Never mind the fact that if you were a military commander, you would be the most disgraced, failed one in the history of armed conflict, or in your case, armed consumption. But regardless of any of that, I just want to go ahead and make that observation, is that Roland is actually very much mistaken about why he never had a military career. It's no. It's not the intellectual requirements there. It's more the physical. Could y'all imagine Roland making it through the physical? Oh, could y'all imagine Roland making it through boot camp? Anywhere. Oh, I feel sorry for the drill sergeant standing over him. Y'all gonna be out there from can't see in the morning till can't see at night. You're gonna have to knock about 100 pounds off of him before he can even do the push-ups. So it's gonna be terrible. Everybody else has to jog and whatnot. Can y'all just let him walk for a little while? Okay. Yeah, can y'all let him walk for a little bit? As a matter of fact, just let him keep walking around the damn base. Just you keep walking around the base until you get into a condition we can use you for. So that's basically what's going on there. So Roland is trying to shore this thing up. He's doing his best there. And of course, he's gonna regale us all with his precious wisdom. He's gonna regale us all with his precious wisdom. However, I wish I could tell you that was all that happened, but it isn't, because something else happened during this interview, and as the anchor man of the New Black Media, it is incumbent on me to bring this to your attention, because I don't know who you all thought General Onray was before now. I don't know what you thought his views were before now, or where he stood on things before now, but folks, stick around. That train's never late. This is General Onray, apparently whipping us all into shape, and what he's got to say.
Y'all see it when
again,
you stop right
with the leadership of this country, and people got to get off the AZZ and go vote.
Just got
and
there
that's
a few
the banner
days ago
we need to be
in
talking.
terms of opening
Roland,
up.
get off your AZZ and go vote. You can't sit around and say, I didn't get what I wanted the last time. I ain't watching the election. I ain't going to vote for an old guy. Well, guess what? You're going to end up in a situation where a lot of black and brown people will be sent out of this country on day one. And there will be nothing, no progress for the
Black
people
and
of color.
brown people be sent out this country on day one.
You see, I review these things so that you all don't have to. I review these things and go over this people's stuff, and I review their paperwork so you all don't have to. And that's why I wanted to play that video there for you all so you can see. It's not just a still picture. You can see it for yourselves. That's what he had to say. I go off and go get the facts and the insight and analysis and bring the invoices that no one else will so that you all don't have to. He's on a black platform talking like that. I don't know, rolling his black in quotations, but yeah, you see who he talking to, and you see where his focus is. And I wanted to make sure you got that. Wanted to make sure you heard that and understood that. So he doubled down on it. He didn't just say that, move on, while he doubled down on that. He made sure you understood exactly who he was referring to. So, yeah. Yeah, just thought we'd go ahead and point that out. Just in case you thought we weren't on top of our game. Go ahead and point that out. I'm like, okay, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. And then, one more here for the road.
Well, just please repeat to all our Gen Z young people that's going to be voting for the first time. Please get out the vote. Take somebody with you. Double your impact. We can defeat this criminal and keep him out of the White House because he will destroy this country. He's already got a plan to do it, 2025 plan, and it will destroy this country.
Well, I'll give you.
So now they want the young people to vote. Now they're focused on that. When they thought that they could ignore us, when they thought that they could neglect us, well, you saw what they were saying then. But now the attitude has begun to change. Now we here in the new black media have been talking to Generation Z before Generation Z was even viable. We've been talking to them the entire time, and we continue to speak to them this very day. These other folks do not understand them. They don't have an inlet to them. They don't understand what they're dealing with. And as you can see, their only way of really talking to you isn't to actually talk to you. Their idea of talking to you is to talk down to you.
Of this country, and people got to get off the AZZ and go vote. And that's the banner we need to be talking.
Yeah, interesting. It all sounds very familiar.
Democrats, shut the hell up, get your asses in line, and focus on winning.
I got the receipt.
Yeah, when they're sitting among black folk, that's the way they say things. When they're among white folk, they don't really sit up here and snap off at them like that. They don't sit up here and address them white folk like that. They come over here with us, and they don't even have the decency to come to us with hat in hand.
Oh yeah, but I already ate bread.
Why, if you didn't know better, you would swear that this isn't about what they're going to do for us. This is about what they expect us to do for them. That we owe them something. That they are doing us a favor. Why, they're not just a favor. Why, they're doing us a charity.
This motherfucker.
And that they are doing us the charity of allowing them to let us vote for them. As opposed to coming to us and saying, you know, you were really motivated in the Obama years and things have been going downhill ever since. Can we discuss with you exactly what's gone wrong? Because folks, remember, they've known about our discontent now at least since 2012. They definitely knew it in 2016. Damn sure aware of it in 2020. And yet, have they come to us yet?
Hell
wearing the hair shirt, on their P's and Q's,
ain't nobody making this
eating some
shit
humble
up.
pie,
They don't give a fuck about
with
us.
hat in hand.
They mad at us because we talk about it.
Hello,
Shit,
good sirs and ladies.
We live
We
in
would like
it.
to appeal to you for your votes.
You
We
be
couldn't help
mean
but
mother
notice that we
effer
haven't
mad
seen
at
you
us
lately
and we
here.
talking about
We
it.
understand there are some
Hey,
problems.
we
We would like to discuss that. They don't give us the APAC treatment. We
Hell
don't get
no.
that. They come to us with the you niggas get up and vote. Shut up, get up and vote treatment.
Thank you.
That's how they talking to us. And a lot of you might have thought that I was exaggerating with the title of tonight's program. Nope, that's what he said. They're telling us shut the hell up and vote.
And you know what? We're weak.
With General Onray doubling down on that.
We're weak. We don't have no backbone.
He don't want to hear what
nothing.
your problem is.
We better be careful once they realize.
He don't give a damn what you ain't got.
Some white folks can come out the woodworks and take
That don't
over
matter
once
to
some
him.
asses in there.
So General Onray and the
man,
old niggas out there,
yeah.
I want to play this again, and then I want to show you the error of your ways.
Say easy and go vote.
Yeah.
And that's the banner we need to be talking. Roller, get off your AZZ and go vote. You can't sit around and say, I didn't get what I wanted the last time. I ain't watching the election. I ain't going to vote for an old guy. Well, guess what? You're going to end up in a situation where a lot of black and brown people will be sent out of this country on day one. And there'll be nothing, no progress for the people of color.
Let's deal with a couple of misnomers here.
They don't know what to
General
call
Onray.
People of color now?
First of all, sir, I am not being disrespectful when I say you got to watch out for these old niggas. I'm not being disrespectful when I say that. And I'll explain to you why. You see, it's very easy for you to sit there at your advanced age. You know, back when the dollar was worth twice as much as it is now. And you could float through the military-industrial complex. And you could buy a brand new house for $100,000.
Oh yeah.
And you still had a manufacturing base.
Oh yeah.
And you were not competing with them bringing Indians and Asians over here by the plane load, truckload, boatload to fight over your jobs. It's very easy for you to say that now that you've exited the workforce. You weren't competing against any of these people, driving wages down, driving opportunities down, driving housing stock down, but housing values up. You didn't have any of that going on. You old, wrinkled, and living on easy street.
I'm not, man, I'm talking about what, I ain't gonna waste my time talking about
like
shit
a potato sack,
that don't mean
living on
nothing.
easy street, looking at the real folks doing the real work today and telling them that they need to sacrifice some more. They need to shut up some more. It's easy for your ass to say. You already sucked up and leached all the damn benefits.
Thank you. Thank you.
You already got yours.
Yeah.
There's always some old nigga out here who got his.
Talk about it,
Talking to the young folk, telling them what they need to do. And it's never about what they can do to get ahead. It's always about whatever you ain't got, oh well, just shut up and roll with the program. Is that because that benefits us? Or is that because that benefits you?
Even though I got ice.
General Onray.
Yeah, I don't do ice.
You sitting there in front of your house. I don't know if it's some side hoes or some side babies. I'm not gonna cast aspersions. But what I will say is that your road was a hell of a lot easier than these young folk got coming up out here today. Well, your reward for 10 hours of work is a whole lot different from what they get in the day. And what it costs you is a whole lot less than what it costs them. Now you sitting there retired, they paying the damn tax dollars that are paying your retirement. You should be grateful to them. You need to be coming to them and you need to be listening to them and saying, hey, where we messed up at? That ain't what he's saying. He's talking about how great a job they done did and what he doesn't want to hear from you. Now there's the ultimate gesture of disrespect.
Where does this motherfucker come from?
You're the one catching hell here. You're the one carrying the freight out here. You're the one financing his retirement out here. And he's telling you about what he doesn't want to hear from you. He's not coming to you and saying, hey, let's talk and discuss this and chop this up so we can go ahead and get y'all on the team. He's telling you about what he don't want to hear from you. So you just need to shut up and vote. Never mind the fact that you're not happy with the results of the last time you followed that advice. And so he wants you to double down on something that A, you're already unhappy with, but B, didn't work the first time. Well, it didn't work for you.
Talk about it, brother.
It's worked out just fine for him. You got to understand, General Onray's perspective of the status quo is radically different from yours. That's why I warn y'all. You can be some ass-kissing zombie sitting up here following their instructions if you want to, but these old niggas got theirs. They got their house. You trying to figure out how to get one in the most expensive real estate market in the history of America.
Subcontracted out to a
You're
guy
trying to figure out
truck.
how to get yours. He got his. Been had it for he had a grip for a minute. You trying to figure out how you gonna get yours. Now he's retired. It doesn't even require labor from him anymore. But he's here telling you what you don't need.
Make money.
You don't need to ask any. How the hell? Now you doing all the damn work and you're putting in all the damn effort, but he's telling you about what you don't need to ask any questions about. That doesn't sound like service. That sounds like servitude. That sounds like slavery. If you're doing the damn work, you damn right you got a right to ask some questions. Your vote should come with requirements. You already gave away your vote for nothing. Now he's saying, oh well, come back and do it again because the alternative is worse. Actually, no. The alternative looks about equal to me. Neither one of you has a compelling argument to get me to get up or help either one of you. And that is your primary responsibility as a politician and a political party, is to make it where it's a no-brainer that I get up and I go vote for you. It's supposed to be a no-brainer. You are supposed to be skilled politicians, experts. Y'all spend billions of dollars a year on this mass social manipulation, while it should be a cakewalk for you to be able to get us to show up and vote for you. This is what you do for a damn living. And yet, you're not giving us any reason to come vote for you. You're just telling us what we owe you. What we owe you.
You sat there.
Not about what you gonna do for us. Not a word from him what you gonna do for us. Well, Donald Trump gonna destroy the country. Have you seen what Joe Biden did to black men? Destroy the country. Have you seen what they've done with all them illegal aliens they've let in? You know, the black and brown folk there, General Onry. Have you seen what they've done with that? Of course he has. He's seen it. And he doesn't give a damn. He got his. See, here's the problem when you're dealing with old niggas. I told you about this before. This is why those of you who are younger, you need to understand that this is the reality of their psychology and their mindset. The psychology of their mindset is they don't give a damn who's pushing the shopping carts at Walmart. They don't give a damn who's working the prescription drugs window and the pharmacy window at Walgreens. They don't give a damn who's building the freeways, who's building the schools, who's driving the 18-wheelers, and they don't care what housing values are today. They're not paying or dealing with any of that stuff.
Right.
All they care about is, did they get their prescription? Is there somebody to make the beds at the hotel? Is there somebody to work on their car? They don't care who it is, and they don't care what you lose to do without. You just got to do without that.
Right.
They ain't got time to worry about what what you don't have and what you're not going to get. That's your problem.
Hey, bud.
That's your problem.
Like ice. I just want the ice. If I gotta pay for it, I will.
You gonna have to deal with that.
Oh, he think he getting over.
So that's why you don't hear them speaking about any of your issues. They sitting up here talking about prescription drugs and old folks stuff. Not what the hell you dealing with. Not with the fact that, by the way, hey, what did you old niggas do to neglect the landscape and make sure that we paying 3 times much for a house as you are? What did you do that we should be listening to you or following you? And he's not bringing you anything. He's not doing anything. That's what I want you all to understand. When some old nigga roll up to you and he's not talking directly to your issues and how it's going to be addressed, what he's telling you is, hey, little bastard, I got mine.
Right there, boy.
I got mine. Who gives a damn if you don't get yours? Hurry up, shut the hell up, get your AZZ ass to the polls and come vote for my prescription pills and my retirement and my pension and my housing values.
Talk about it.
Come vote for that. While you got a whole different set of problems and he ain't saying a damn syllable to address those. No, take a look at him. He's sitting in front of his.
Cut without that damn.
He's not saying a word about how the hell you gonna get yours. He's sitting in front of his and the stuff he's talking is minimizing illegal aliens here, and they ain't gonna ship no black folk out this country who are citizens. We gonna be just fine. Who the hell is he talking about gonna get put out the country? I know his light, bright, damn near white ass ain't worried about it while he's sitting up here to sell wolf tickets.
Look, I've seen them before somewhere. They twins.
While he's trying to sell smoke and mirrors. He knows damn well they ain't gonna do a damn thing to us that they haven't already done. We're not eligible for deportation. We fought that fight 160 years ago. We're not eligible for deportation. We good. So who is he standing up for? He ain't standing up for us. That little line he threw out there, that's not for us. So who is he standing up for? And I'm letting y'all know, he don't give a damn who the landscapers are. He'll sit down there in New Orleans, watch black folk lose every damn thing. He got his. He doesn't care who the landscapers are. He doesn't care who the roofs are. He doesn't care who the nurses are. He doesn't care who's building the freeways. He doesn't care who's tearing them down. He doesn't care who's building the infrastructure. And who is it? He doesn't care what you got or what you don't get. He got his. Now he's voting for the maintenance of what he got, not the building of what you need to have.
Right.
So he doesn't care about the illegals. That's, as far as he's concerned, that's your problem.
I should have topped this up, but water will come out.
So long as there's somebody there to take care of that, and he's already shown you, well, I better look out for the illegals, because I need somebody to go ahead and make the beds at the hotel. These niggas are so rickety.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting there with his tongue on his lips the whole damn time. Him and Biden looking like damn Siamese twins.
Right. This is white America.
I'm sitting here talking to the young folk. I'm talking to the people who are out here in the trenches. I'm talking to the folks out here who are catching flack and fire every damn day. I'm talking to the people here who have watched this New York City cost $5,000 a month to live in Manhattan. I'm watching as those of you in California. There's no place you can live in California if you don't make $21 an hour.
Right.
In Los Angeles. Right. There's nowhere you can live in Los Angeles if you don't make $21 an hour.
Shit.
Coming to a city near you. I'm sitting here talking to y'all. I'm sitting here looking at the environment that you're in with nobody looking out for you. Nobody.
Right. You're on a whole nother level.
Used to be there was a safe place to be. There ain't no damn safe place to go anymore.
Nowhere.
I just did a story. I just showed y'all the video here from a couple of days ago. Detroit, most overvalued real estate in America.
Thank you.
Detroit. Fox Local, most overvalued real estate in America. Yep. Not Atlanta. Detroit just leapfrogged Atlanta. Atlanta was #1. Here comes Detroit. They knocked Atlanta off. Detroit.
Talk about about it, brother.
While they sitting up here telling you what you don't need.
Speak about it.
While they sitting up here telling you about look out for the illegals. Don't worry, it's not hurting you. No, it's not hurting his old ass. And he gives no damns what you ain't getting.
Right.
It's not hurting him. He is terminally out of touch with the environment. He's out of touch.
Well, he's unpaid.
Because he doesn't want to
He's
get it.
on code.
He got his.
As
long as he getting his, he gives no damns what you don't ever see. So it's easy for him to dismiss the challenges you're going through and talk about what he doesn't want to hear. None of the things that hear, because they're not his problems.
Trust it again with the leadership of this country. If people got to get off their AZZ and go vote, and that's the banner we need to be talking, Roland. Get off your AZZ and go vote. You can't sit around and say, I didn't get what I wanted the last time. I ain't watching the election. I ain't going to vote for an old guy. Well, guess what? You
can't say that you didn't get what you wanted the last time. Don't you mean the last 10 times, nigga?
All the time. Y'all don't do it.
We didn't get what we wanted the last time. We've never gotten it. And he's saying, go vote some more. You can't say you didn't get what you wanted last time. Very interesting, because the whole reason that he's so enthusiastic is because this old crippled bastard got his.
Thank you. Got it.
While he's telling you, don't worry that you ain't got yours. He got his.
Somebody speak up for us.
He's not saying that we didn't get ours. He's saying if you didn't get yours, because he got his.
Yep.
So he can be real damn dismissive about you. He got his.
Right.
He's on a whole damn different planet from the rest of us in that regard. He don't care what you ain't got.
Right.
And he's just outright letting you know, I don't care what you don't have.
Right.
That's your ass. Get up and come vote for my benefits.
Yep.
Who cares what benefits you didn't get? Get up and come vote for mine.
Maybe the first one.
Come vote for mine.
Kick your fucking door in.
They don't talk to us like we're dumb. They talk to us like we're out of our minds crazy.
Yeah.
But it goes further than that. Spolenbaum Arden sitting up there talking to his esteemed panel of flunkies and lackeys. And they're talking about the post-debate and how Biden did terrible at it. They're talking about that, and yes, I know he did the interview with George Stephanopoulos. That hasn't really moved the needle except to show he's still conscious. So it's not, Joe, you ain't gonna move things substantively until you talk without a teleprompter, without an interview, until you take some questions from the media and the rest of the world. Until you do that, and it ain't gonna work. Just like Sarah Palin needed to do a rematch with Katie Couric. The road to the White House went through Katie Couric, Charles Gibson. She refused to have that rematch. Okay, well, this ain't gonna work for Joe till he does a rematch.
He turned things around in the next debate and won the election in a landslide. This is real simple, Michael. Democrats, shut the hell up, get your asses in line, and focus on winning.
Absolutely, and back up and surround and support and block for and defend your candidate.
Hey,
this is what
how
I was
you
just
doing?
saying. This reminds me during the 2020
What's going
presidential
on?
campaign, and you had one of the debates.
Brother.
You had 12 people for the Democrats, 12 people on stage, and they were attacking policies from the Obama-Biden administration, acting like they were Republicans. So what the hell are you doing? But the other thing, when we look at Joe Biden's history, Joe Biden really has never been a good debater, but he's good at retail politics.
You are
Joe Biden there in Raleigh, North Carolina, that's the Joe Biden retail politics. He needs to do a lot more of that. Okay, do two of those, do at least two of those a week, especially during the summer. And
here's
I would
a multi-millionaire that's doing
the next
movies all
debate
over
is
the
September
world.
10th. The day before that
And the
debate
He
needs to do one of those rallies also and feed off that energy, allow that momentum to take him into the debate.
Poorer than us.
You're talking like Joe Biden is 21 and not 81. Build up momentum.
Y'all sitting here talking about they
Michael,
haters,
these people are just out of touch with facts, reality, physics, biology.
But,
hell no.
Goddamn, do you want to win or do you want to lose? What is it that you're doing?
I tell you, but you do what you want to.
See?
Wow, let me know so I know what to do.
I'm not
okay,
satisfied
with what I
see.
Let's go ahead and I need you all to tell me what to think here. But that's not really the clip I want to play for you all. I want to play for you something else.
I'm not worried about it. You'll see.
Referenced this before. I'm going to go ahead and address this now.
You better see.
Because on Bowling Ball Martin's television show there.
Then for me to tell you.
He was talking to old Michael Imhotep. And y'all know I've been on Michael's show before. And old Michael, he couldn't leave well enough alone. They was feeling them body blows. So Michael decides to take a veiled shot at yours truly. And he's going to try to defend Biden by doing what him and Henri Anderson said. Doesn't matter what our priorities are. We need to abandon those and just get with the program of whatever is going on here now. So I want to play the video for you here on your screen so you can see Michael say this in his own words.
And executive orders from the executive branch of government, and for all the economic empowerment gurus out there who say we don't need to vote, we just need to do like Asians and build businesses and invest in the stock market, things like this. Well, look at the Federal Court of Appeals that just ruled against the Fearless Fund, the African American women who you've had here on the show, Roland, and they have the grants for actually businesses for women of color. It's not exclusively for African American women, but they were sued by Ed Blum, white conservative activist Ed Blum, the same Ed Blum who got affirmative action in college admissions overturned by the 6th Street Conservative Supreme Court that Donald Trump put in place. The Federal Court of Appeals ruled against the Fearless Fund. Now they're trying to decide, what's the...
So Michael couldn't just leave well enough alone. Just go ahead and make whatever little old bull jive ass point he wants to make. He wants to sit up here and invoke yours truly there.
And executive orders from the executive branch of government, and for all the economic empowerment gurus out there who say we don't need to vote, we just need to do like Asians and build businesses and invest in the stock market, things like this. Well, look at the...
Okay, well, first of all, I've never been one of these invest in the stock market people, but also, yeah, the foundation is economics because Ed Blum is paying for that stuff there. They got folks who have to pay for it pro bono, meaning somebody else is paying for it. So, yeah, it comes down to that. And he didn't make an argument against it, just bringing up the Fearless Fund. He didn't make an argument against it. That isn't what he did. So what he's trying to tell us all is that, oh, well, black empowerment here, economics. So what about that? There's always somebody telling us what we don't need to do. There's always somebody telling us what we can do without. There's always somebody telling us that we need to go to politics. And by the way, with politics, well, take a look at these federal judges and what they did to the Fearless Fund. Okay, Michael, what about Ketanji Bedwinch Jackson? And the workers the black workers that she voted against, that she ruled against before she went to the Supreme Court. What about her, sir? What about her? You see, that's what we got for following your advice. That wasn't Donald Trump. That's what we got for following your advice, Michael. By the way, while you're sitting here pretending to know it all, he didn't say a word about that. All the Biden judges and nominees that have done that, he didn't say a word about that. Now, did he? Yeah, they always want to talk about judges right up until we talk about the folks the Democrats grabbed. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. I don't know if that mattered right there. Well, it's just one of them things, It always becomes that. So he wants to talk about judges, but he doesn't want to talk about When the Democrats do that, they're trying to convince you that that Biden is going to have a bunch of judges in there who are going to be protecting us. If the Democrats were good at picking judges who protected us, we wouldn't have any complaints today after 6 damn decades. We wouldn't have any complaints today after 6 damn decades if the Democrats were these great experts on choosing judges to protect black folks' rights. Furthermore, in the chat room, that's a very true statement. You talking about the Black Women of the Fearless Fund, and Ketanji Brown Jackson sat there and told you she doesn't know how to define what a woman is. What? Sat there in front of Congress and says she doesn't know how to define what a woman is. If that's not the quintessential example of got hers, so when it's time for them to be chosen for office, you're the first black woman. But when it's time for them to do some politics, or I don't really know how to define a woman, oh, well, then it doesn't matter if we don't choose you because you don't know what a woman is. I know I'm one. And Michael is not saying a word about that. Well, hell no, because y'all got to understand. Folks, listen to me. There's a whole bunch of these people out here hoping they gonna get a check, hoping they gonna get a little crumb flicked off the table, hoping that they get to show up for some Democrat fundraiser somewhere so they can take pictures, because that's what niggas do, so they can put on their damn fraternity pins.
Nigga, please.
They sit up here and put on their fraternity pins as if that's a power move. Everything is symbolic. And they're always telling you and me what we don't need now is just sunk into a real disrespectful place. They just coming out with it and just saying, nigga, shut up and vote. Well, as always, people, my response to that is, this is good. What? This is good. No, I want you all to remain as stupid and tone deaf as you've been all this time. I want you to sit there and be every bit as arrogant, narcissistic, and out of touch as you've been all this time. That's what I want. I want it to remain that way. I want it to stay that way. I want it to remain like that. I want you to stay the way you are. I want you to keep serving that up every day and telling yourselves that you're so much smarter and that nobody else sees what the hell you're trying to pull and that nobody else gets it. I want you to remain that way. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. I want you to ride that damn rocket all the way into the ground. That's what I want you to do. I want you to keep doing that. I want you to keep doing that. I want you to keep telling yourselves you're smarter than the rest of us and that you're slicker than the rest of us and that if you sit up here and just crack the whip enough that the rest of us are going to just jump in line. I want you to tell yourselves that that new black media contingent doesn't really speak for anybody. I want you to keep doing that. I want you to keep doing it. I want you to keep being out of touch. I want you to keep being completely desensitized. I want you to keep being off in your little bubbles where you trade your little fraternity and sorority pins, your mutual admiration societies of idiots and clowns and ass kissers. I want you to keep doing that.
Exactly.
And I want you to keep doing that clean through election day. You see, I was the guy who said this back when it was not sexy, nor cool, nor acceptable to say it. I said, what we need is a black civil war, and nobody really wanted to go there with it. Nobody wanted to go there with it. They wanted to do something different. I've always said that, no, we need to have that because half measures will not do. We gonna have to take it to the damn street. And at the end of this day, it's either going to be black first or not at all. And I've been beating that drum and waving that banner now for 2 decades. That's going to be what it's going to have to be. That is going to have to be a point here where we going to have to take it to the street and go head up. We're going to have to take them and their ideology, and it's going to have to go head up against ours. And we'll see who's the last one standing. That's what it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be that. We're going to have to let them eventually show what their real colors are, and the old niggas done showed that they're just a bunch of Democrat butt kissers who do not care what is in black people's best interest. They're only concerned about what is in their own. They didn't sacrifice anything when they were young, and they're not sacrificing a damn thing now. They see you as their pets at best and their slaves at worst, and they gonna sit here and bark out orders to you. No acknowledgement whatsoever of what your issues are with the current politics. No acknowledgement of that whatsoever. You just shut up and vote. What they want to see is how that's going to go. And what I'm telling them is, I think we're all about to find out exactly how that little scummy game plan is going to go for you there. See, this is the way they're used to things happening. They used to white folk talking to them like that. I want y'all to understand that they're used to these old niggas and Roland Martin. They're used to white folk talking to them like this. That's why it doesn't offend them. It offends you and it offends me. It don't offend them. They used to white folks sitting up here yelling at them and cursing at them and dressing them down and talking down. They're used to that. They wonder what the hell is your problem.
Exactly.
They're with that program. They just wonder what the hell is your problem.
And I've been at this crossroads. And I'm
why
part
you
of
got
that
an issue with it?
And I'm just saying, I found the Da Vinci Code.
What they don't understand is that we different.
It's a rap, dog.
We different.
That shit so... as far as I'm concerned, if
you all agree with that, give me the black fist emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's almost 6,000 people in here live on the Black channel. If you agree with what I'm saying here, that we are different, give me the black fist emoji and hit the likes button for me.
Anytime you can have a whole different
also checking here on our crowdfunding for 8 a.m. We got 3 days left.
All y'all ever talked about was
we got 3 days left.
Perception and
everything. The folks have been waiting for their first of the month to hit. For the last minute here, we are down to the last 3 days. It's time for you to go ahead and put your name on it. Bro. There's still some time left, but I recommend you don't sit up here and get distracted. I recommend you don't get distracted. Nobody else is talking like this. I want y'all to understand. They're all asking about who's speaking for us. They're all talking about the black media. They're all talking about folks that are talking about staying home. They're talking about, oh, your economic empowerment gurus. Folks, don't believe me. Believe them. If you don't think that we're leading the national conversation and we're leading the narrative and they are very, very concerned about what we're talking about, if you don't believe me, don't believe me, believe them. Don't believe what I'm saying, believe what they're saying. They're the ones saying this, not me. They're the ones telling you, yeah, we kind of in trouble out here. They're the ones saying that. I'm just the guy reporting the news. They're the ones repeating our words, repeating the code of conduct that we put out there, and they're trying to convince everybody that the code of conduct doesn't matter. That's what they're trying to convince them of. These other folks don't talk about this kind of thing because they can't talk about it. They're bought and paid for by other people. They're waiting for a White House press secretary job, some job at the corporation, some correspondence job, some guest panelist job. We're the only ones because we are only owned by the people. So I'm only accountable to the people. Whole different ball game. Isn't that interesting? The people who belong to the political parties talk just like the politicians do. No changes. Those of us who belong to the people, our vocabulary and topics are totally different. How we speak about it is totally different. I'm sitting up here saying, I don't care what's in the best interest of the Democrats. I'm only concerned about what's in the best interest of the people. Radically different vocabulary than these other folks have. Radically different.
Of course.
We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break, by the way. We'll see how things go when I come back from this. This is the Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess, and I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-age child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One. And to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black First. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com and show your love.
About to get into my shit here in a minute. I got me some spaghetti on deck.
To experience all the benefits of ash-kicking body butter.
Big old bag.
With skin so smooth
Big
and
thing
soft,
full of
you'll thank us
spaghetti.
for it. Shop ash-kicking online. That's
Hot as hell. I might do a live eating video.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all this evening. And I want to go over a couple of things here. For a moment here. This generation here, and I'm talking about from Gen X on, I want us to be very, very clear about something here. I didn't say it's fair, I didn't say it's right, but there's only one reason why it is that they're talking about we need the young folk now. It's because we began this campaign over a decade ago. If they had their way, they would continue to ignore your existence. Okay. If they could actually do it. But we got to go beyond that. This idea of saviorism, this idea that you gonna sit back, say a few prayers, and somebody else is gonna step in and jump in and take care of your salvation for you. Now, as young folk, you're very, very quick to criticize the old Negroes for that. You recognize that from them, but for a lot of you, you don't recognize it for yourselves, or it's not convenient to do so. That's the character flaw, and that's the problem. Do you understand that the old niggas are enthusiastic? Old niggas, bed wenches, coons, sellouts, illegal aliens. You realize they're enthusiastic. Do you get that? They're enthusiastic. They are energized. Why, they are very, very active in defending their foolery. They're very, very good for that. What about on our side? I want to make an acknowledgement of something here because I want you to understand this generation can transform everything, but you're not going to get it done being lazy, apathetic, or expecting, well, don't worry, somebody else going to jump in and get to it, and then we the ones out here catching hell. You can't afford to buy a new car. Well, somebody else going to take care of it. They taking care of your ass, aren't they? Yeah. Houses, you can't afford that either. They taking care of you. You're looking for a better job. Oh, here come the illegals. They taking care of you. Somebody else is going to take care of it. No, nobody else is coming to the rescue. If somebody else does show up, they're coming here to disenfranchise you. Them the rules. That's what's going on. We have to be our own advocates from the ground up. We're going to have to be that. And we are going to have to be hyper-motivated, hyper-mobilized. We don't have a multi-million-dollar war chest to draw off of. That would be nice. No, they're spending billions of dollars to try to intercept us.
Oh, yeah.
And I want you to recognize that, by the way, that constitutes a character flaw in that regard. That's not good. That's not good at all. We have to be more motivated. We have to be more energized. We have to be more of that. General Onray is worried that you're going to have a president who comes into office and starts cutting back on some of those grossly excessive benefits that folk like him get. That's what he's worried about. He just wants to make sure that he can coast and cruise all the way to a peaceful death. You're the one out here still in the trenches, still under fire. Exactly. He's just trying to hold on and maintain.
Exactly.
But I want you all to understand where our Achilles tendon tends to be. Our Achilles tendon tends to be that the rest of these folk figure all they got to do is wait us out. That if they just give it a little bit of time, everybody gonna fall back. That's what they count on. They count on us getting apathetic. They count on us getting slack. They count on us getting distracted. And then when that happens, that's when they swoop in, or they go ahead and throw the lemon twist. I'm going to say something right here, and I hope this will stick with you. If you are not the most excited, motivated, mobilized, energized person that there is for what's in your best interest, then you don't have a future. The old niggas could afford to be lax and apathetic because their parents built up so much wealth. That was their inheritance that they squandered. That's true, but it was also supposed to be yours. And they squandered that. And now here you are with no inheritance to speak of, and you have to start all over again as if you're brand new arrivals in this country, starting from zero. And who is speaking to that? Who is speaking to that? In the chat room, you say, they sold us out. Although, yeah, they certainly did. But there are a lot of mannerisms that these generations that we have today where we're repeating the cycle of doing that. Folks, we've been telling you for over a decade, George Zimmerman murdered Trayvon Martin. The money came flooding in. Darren Wilson, the money came flooding in. Daniel Pantaleo, money came flooding in. Kyle Rittenhouse, money came in like a tsunami. They believe in these things. That's how much being able to kill black people with impunity means to these other folks. That's how serious that is. Donald Trump takes an L in court and the money comes in like a tsunami. Understand that. The money comes in like a tsunami. That's serious business. That's serious business. Folks sit up here and they go grab money to go see Chris Brown for a meet and greet. And I don't have anything against Chris Brown doing what he do. But what I'm saying is, by the way, if you think that's the road to salvation, here on the Black Channel, we're in the middle of an election year. And I want to say a shout out to all my real ones out there. We're in the last 3 days for 8 a.m. But by the way, this is a testimony to what you going through. That's the point I want to make. We got over 5,000 people in here watching live right now. 996 backers on the crowdfunding. Over 5,000 people in here live. That's the problem. I want you all to understand, if you want to know what the issue is, that's the issue right there. I'm not going to shade the nickel. I'm not going to mince any words. I'm not going to bite my tongue on it. Shout out to all my real ones, but I want you to understand when I tell you that it's always the elite and the few who lead these things. Everybody else sitting here like the civil rights generation expecting somebody else to do all the footwork and, oh, well, somebody else will take care of it. And then they don't want to get motivated until they get locked up, till they lose their job, till they get kicked out of college, until something happens to them, quote, personally. Then they want everybody to circle the wagons.
Talk about it, brother. I say it in
Do you see what the problem is there?
Upon death,
we want to sit up here and wait until somebody else, until you get your ass in a bind that you can't get out of. Then you want to jump up and say, hey, everybody needs to circle the wagons.
Exactly.
Hey, come
now
circle them for me.
You awake and you realize
the time to be circling those wagons, the time for you to be doing that was before it was your turn to go to the gallows. That was the time to be doing that. I am not one of these people who's in constant fundraiser mode. Roland Martin is in constant perpetual fundraiser mode. Every time he show up, he's sitting up here asking for money and this, that, and the other. They're always doing that. What I'm saying, y'all know me. Y'all see me like once every 5 years. And when I do show up, I bring the goods. Y'all see me once every half a decade. Once every half a decade. Y'all don't see me show up every week. Hell, I don't show up every year. I show up once a half a decade to say, hey, I brought the goods. And I'm telling our story because nobody else is telling it. Stephen A. Smith has never been an advocate for your kids in high school getting paid for their labor. Stephen A. Smith ain't said a word about it. Truth be told, Shannon Sharp ain't said a word about it neither. Nobody has been stomping and being an advocate for that. I've been the only person you all have seen has been on the JOB now for going on 2 decades. Hey, you need to pay these young folk here. If Nick Saban can make NFL money, why is it that the young men on his football team ain't getting paid something too? If nobody is pocket watching Nick Saban, how the hell you pocket watching the only people on the field getting something done? Nobody else is talking about that. You have major television and commercial outlets, folks with NFL television broadcasting deals and NBA broadcasting deals, and they ain't saying nothing. They're not saying a word. Not one. Not a syllable. Your kids are at these schools. Your kids are at these institutions. Your nephews and nieces are at these places. Who is standing up for them? Who's standing up for them?
Exactly.
In the chat room there, they shut down the Cash App there. We already explained about that. But that's not an excuse. We got a bunch of other ways for that, so that's not an excuse. By the way, that's not an excuse. I want y'all to understand that. When it comes time to have advocates and speak up for what we're doing here, everybody's like, oh, we don't know what we gonna do. These other folk, man, they already moving. These are races that get won by the quickest folk, the most motivated, the fastest, the most persistent. That's who wins these things. If our generation doesn't make it, you're not gonna like this. If our generation doesn't make it, it's gonna be because we sat around trying to party and BS and Pornhub and OnlyFans and TikTok.
Talk about it, bro.
Shout out Malachi and everybody else who's contributed here tonight. But I gotta say this for what it is here. If our generation fails, I want you to understand, you won't get what the civil rights generation got. Understand that. The civil rights generation was the last one that could coast on what their parents gave them. You ain't got no inheritance. You're not going to get one. Right. If you don't make your voice heard, if you don't advocate for yourself, if you don't make your issue the priority, don't worry about it. You are watching now that when you were children, you heard that it was New York and Los Angeles that were the places that folks were getting gentrified out of. Now places you never even really thought of like that. Places you never really even thought of like that. Nashville, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, St. Louis, Missouri, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Seattle, Washington. Those are the folks, these are the places now. Everywhere you go, you hearing about this. Charlotte, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, it's everywhere now. It's everywhere now. It's not a New York thing anymore. You're not gonna make it that far. Hell, most of you haven't already. No, it's not Jacksonville, Florida. It's the entire state of Florida, the entire state of California, the entire state of New York, the entire state of New Hampshire. We ain't talking about, I said this a decade ago, we're no longer discussing gentrified cities. We're now discussing gentrified states. There are whole states now that you're getting priced out of. It used to be that when you got priced out of your block. Now you're getting priced not out of the city, you're getting priced out of the whole state.
Ain't no where to run, ain't nowhere to hide.
That's why there's a bunch of folks in the New York area. You got to get up, pack up, and leave.
You got no privacy no more.
And the places that they're going to, they done jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Everybody and their mama know where you at.
You're leaving New York City and trying to go down to the Carolinas, and your ass runs straight into Charlotte, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Greensboro, Goldsboro, Asheville. It ain't safe. You thought it was going to be the winning move and better than where you left from, and then you find out, I'll be damned. Everybody's got the same strategy. Nobody is trying to have a cheap state to be in or a cheap place to be in. Everybody is tightening the vice and tightening the noose. Your parents got theirs. You the one sitting up here ass out, and understand something, and this is the critical, crucial point. Where in the hell have these old niggas been all this time to advocate for your interest of the next generation?
They've been gatekeepers.
Where are they?
They've been sitting there being gatekeepers.
They're sitting up here wagging their damn fingers in your face talking about you need to go vote. where the hell these niggas been for 4 decades? Where have they been while you've been out here catching arrows and catching bullets and catching blows? Where have they been? Where have they been at?
No, they
were sitting up here arguing with me a decade ago, talking about don't talk about the old folk like that. A decade and a half later, they still have never come out and spoken about what you putting up with and what you dealing with and what you tolerating and what you're suffering under out here. They're not speaking up on your behalf at all. Roland Martin does one chintzy-ass cheesy show after another, ain't saying a damn thing about housing prices. Then you would have to say, how is it Joe Biden been in office for 4 years and housing prices have done nothing but go up? Talking about student loans. Student loans, you ain't having to eat nor sleep nor live under a student loan. But that mortgage loan is a different matter. They're not saying a word about that. Not a syllable. Because then you would have to ask, by the way, what the hell is the man you telling us to vote for done about it? Or are you about to feed us another damn excuse? Which is the only thing they're going to do is feed you yet another excuse. My generation, this generation, the next generation, y'all just understand the previous generations could afford to be lazy and apathetic. They could afford it. They got theirs. You didn't have a predatory real estate market when they were coming up. They left that to you and said, little young nigga, you on your own. And the worst part, as I always said, is they're not even talking about it. They'll mention housing prices as an issue, but you notice that none of them are saying what they've done or what they've done about it. They promise that if you re-elect them, well, we'll try to do something. You've been in office for 4 damn years. And you passed the CHIPS Act. Damn. So you pulled tens of billions of dollars out your rump to give it to Silicon Valley corporations who they made hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars over the last 40 years, offshoring semiconductor production. They started in the United States. They got up and left the United States and went to Asia. Now they're holding the United States up for ransom with your tax dollars today to say, pay us billions of dollars to bring semiconductor production back to the United States. That's what Joe Biden got done during his time as president. He made sure that Intel and Taiwan Semiconductor and these other semiconductor chip manufacturers get billions of dollars to build foundries over here in America. And then he's going to tell you he don't know what to do about housing for you, but re-elect me and I'll see if I can get around to it. He didn't tell Intel and them he'll see if he can get around to it. And they got big real estate in Austin and Arizona and all the other places that they building while they're giving you their excuses. Did you notice that Roland Martin and friends did not complain about that not being mentioned during the debates? Let me tell you something right now. As young people, you know full well you want stability, you got aspirations, you're going to put things in place. And if you tune into a debate, you might ignore the rest of that stuff. But if they ask, by the way, housing prices are out of damn control, Mr. Trump, what you gonna do about it? If he tries to evade that question, your ears are gonna perk up and be like, okay, not him. If Biden tried to evade it, you're gonna be like, okay, not them. When it comes to what's really in your interest, these folks get deadly quiet. Now, I took the body blows early on because nobody wanted to call out who and what the real problem was. I did that, and the national body politic has begun to change. But I just thought I would take out this moment to remind you all, when we have thousands of us in a room like we are right now, thousands show up every week, and your grandparents are at the church. If they don't show up tonight, if they weren't there today, they gonna be there tomorrow morning organizing against your interests. Auntie, chill. Do you understand that? Folks, they're going to show up in church tomorrow morning and get together to try to organize, to try to figure out how to circumvent you. They're going to talk about Donald Trump, but the issues that you have are actually a product of what they haven't done. And they're going to be sitting there organizing for themselves. They're going to get together with Pastor Pork Chop and Deacon Red Beans and Rice. And they're going to be like, these little young niggas need to quit complaining, pull their pants up, and get to work. That's what they're going to tell them. That's what they're going to say to them. They're going to get up there and they're going to tell them that that's, y'all out here need to quit whining and complaining, which is exactly what Roland and General Onery are sitting up here saying. That's why I played that for you all here at the beginning of this thing here. Man, they trying to figure out how to circumvent you. They're trying to figure out how to circumvent you. No wonder they're telling you that it doesn't matter what you're talking about. They got theirs and my generation and the one after it here. I just wanted to let you know, okay. Okay. All right. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Sitting here being silent, and I know some of y'all were raised by some deficient people, and you gotta shake that off right there. Being invisible is gonna be a death knell for our generation. Because I want to introduce another specter to you here that many of you have not considered. Sitting around and being the bump on the log and whatnot, and you've gone from Jesus will provide to, oh well, everything gonna be all right. Jesus or not, everything gonna be all right. Just understand, you have embraced fatalism. You have embraced fatalism. You are not going to have that option. Please understand that. They're not going to take it easy on you when you get older like they have with these old niggas. That's not going to be your fate. You are going to be the generation that they go after from the cradle to the grave. This is going to be the generation that they go after, the Gen X, Gen Z. You're going to be the ones that they go after from the cradle to the grave. It's no longer enough. White flight is nothing compared to what y'all are going to see. Or what we're seeing now. White flight is nothing compared to that.
Talk about it.
The reason why I make documentary films is because Black Enterprise wouldn't do it. You all who were there with me a decade ago, you saw Black Enterprise flat out ignore us. They're supposed to be the publication of record for Black empowerment and economics and entrepreneurship, and they flat out ignored us. The only documentary film ever that talked about economics and entrepreneurship centered on that had reputable people in it, people who had been featured in Black Enterprise Magazine. Reputable people in it, and Black Enterprise Magazine did not talk about our crowdfunding, but they did talk about Issa Rae. What? Now that they did do. The exact same year. So let me get this straight. The so-called black publication of record dealing with and specializing in black entrepreneurship was ignoring us. Didn't say a word. But Issa Rae, they promoted. And then our crowdfunding blew hers out of the water. And yet they still said, yeah, damn them. Who does Black Enterprise serve? That's my point. Who does Black Enterprise serve? Who does Tom Joyner really serve? Who does Roland Martin really serve? Who does Essence and Ebony and Jet, who do they really serve?
And BET, nobody.
Because I know what they say on the front of their little publications, but who do they really serve?
The conditioned ones that lived through the 60s, 70s.
Who really serves your interests?
50s, 60s, and 70s.
What I'm saying is that if we don't tell our story, just please understand, nobody else is going to tell it. And I want to remind you in no uncertain terms, this time is not going to be some shucking and jiving. That's not what it's going to be. I would like to introduce to you all from 8 a.m. I want to give you the prognostication because I've been dealing with this. There's a reason why this week I talked about Detroit on my Patreon for my other YouTube channel. I talked about Nashville, Tennessee. Nobody was discussing Nashville. No one was looking at that. When you talked about gentrification, people only talked about two places, New York City and Los Angeles. Those were the only two they talked about. When they talked about gentrification, it was New York and California. Nobody else was mentioned. I am the first person who actually in a national forum talked about gentrification as a national problem and then took you to a place you never thought was actually suffering this. Nashville, Tennessee, Davidson County. Okay, but I didn't even know. I was literally coming back from Black Empowerment 1 and my GPS was messing up when I was going down Interstate 40 and I had to get off the freeway to try to get my bearings. I didn't even really know where I was. I remember to this day, the freeway sign that I saw said Antioch. That's why I didn't know where I was. The freeway exit ramp sign that I saw said Antioch. So I didn't really know where. I didn't know I was all the way in Nashville yet. The GPS was messing up so bad. I didn't know I was there yet. And then I got off the freeway and being an old construction worker, back before the illegals took all the construction jobs, General Onery. By the way, these young black men, you want to sit up here and bring in the illegals. Yeah, because you got yours. Understand something. Let me just say something right quick before I get back to Nashville here. Old niggas in the military don't give a damn where the other soldiers come from, especially if they're in a command position. Just so long as he ain't got to hit the front lines, he don't give a damn where the infantry come from. They can be career soldiers, they can be illegal aliens, they can be mercenaries, they can be Martians. He don't give a damn. My folks in the military know I'm telling the damn truth. Your commanders don't give a damn where the bodies come from, just so long as there's bodies to send out there. And I'm telling the truth. Yeah, I'm yelling it because nobody else is telling it. There's several dimensions of this, how they got you in a damn trick bag.
Talk about
in any case.
And that's the same where
I got off that freeway and I saw those tower cranes downtown because as an old construction worker, I knew that every tower crane basically represents a new skyscraper or a new heavy structure.
Running back round.
And when I saw 12 skyscrapers, I saw 12 tower cranes in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee, downtown in 2015. I said, you will not be able to recognize this skyline in Nashville in 10 years. Hell, you won't recognize it in 5. People, there are over 100 100 projects under development in the Nashville downtown core. What? Damn! I was reading an article, I was playing an article earlier today about that. People, there are over 100 projects currently under development for Nashville, Tennessee's downtown core. 100.
But y'all
That's
don't
not
hear me, though.
gentrification, that's annihilation.
Annihilation. They wiping our black ass
Do you understand that?
off the fucking planet. They don't
If you're still using the word gentrification, nigga, you behind.
I'm trying to tell you, I've been known.
That's not gentrification, that's extermination.
Thank you, Lord. Somebody
And they're
else.
building it all for out-of-towners and yuppies and white kids.
Thank you. And they'll come right in there and
They're
pay
just
that
gonna,
money.
what they're letting you know is right now they are going to go block by block and ethnically cleanse you. Over the course of the next 10 years, they're just going to go block by block and ethnically cleanse Nashville.
Yep.
And then move on to Davidson County as a whole. And then move on to Knoxville. Oh, I ain't forgot about Knoxville County. They're going to go from Davidson to Knoxville. And then finally their spiritual home, Memphis.
Yep.
Eventually, you will see them make the move into Memphis. You ain't seen nothing in Memphis yet. I'm talking about they gonna make Nashville moves. Don't try to tell me about they already doing it in Memphis. They've let you get the warning sign about what's coming into Memphis. They're gonna make Memphis will be the last one, but because they're gonna have to come into Memphis super heavy.
Oh yeah.
They can't just come into Memphis slapshod. They're gonna have to come into Memphis ready and geared up for war, and they will. They're just proving that they can do it in Nashville first. Then they're going to prove they can do it in Knoxville, and then finally the crown jewel, Memphis.
All you gotta do is tell them black women
will
to do
be
it. No,
a wrap for black people in the entire state.
Get them black women something else, an alternative, and them black men will follow.
You better get your kids with some name, image, likeness. You better get them with some skills. You better get them capitalizing on their talents and their abilities and their skills. You better get them to recognize what they really have. You better stop bull jobbing. The national conversation better change and continue changing, because what I just told you about Davidson County, downtown Nashville, most of you did not know that. Even those of you in Nashville did not know that that many permits have been pulled. Did you know that that many permits had been pulled for downtown Nashville? No, you didn't know. And I'm just appraising you about downtown Nashville. I can literally name about a dozen other cities right now with similar things shaping up. Charleston, South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. Those places right now are being redone in order to compete against Florida. Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, Savannah, Georgia. Those things are being rebuilt. Those things are being reorganized now and rejiggered as resort and tourism mega sites. And the goal is to use those as the anchors, and then you start ethnically cleansing everything around it. Which is what in Charleston, I'm just letting y'all know right now, they've already backed that up all the way to Mother Bethel. Man, look here. Mother Emanuel. The waterfront is gone. And I hate to see that, because you got some Gullah Geechee people down there. The old woman down there across the street from the Bay Inn down there, Yeah, I went and chopped it up with her. Those of you who live in Charleston, you know who she is.
Let me go ahead and get up off of here.
You know who she is. Right across from the harbor, from Harbor Inn. Y'all know that woman right there, she Gullah Geechee. I went there and chopped it up with her. And I'm just feeling sad because I'm like, okay, I already know where it's going. She trying to keep the faith, but I'm like, man, look here. They're literally building this giant skyscraper literally across the street from her, Lowe's. And I'm like, you do understand that that's $1 billion development that they're building there in Charleston. $1 billion development. You don't spend that kind of money because you bull jiving. You're doing that to compete against Florida. And I've only got one question to ask those of you in Charleston, South Carolina, who are looking at that. You haven't worked in construction. You haven't worked in real estate or real estate development. You don't actually know what you're looking at. I have one question to ask you. When Lowe's is finished, and by my estimates, they should be finished within the next 6 or 8 calendar months. When that thing is finally fully done with its development, which it isn't yet, but when it's finally done, do you think it's going to be the last one? Do you think that $1 billion structure that they're building on the riverfront in Charleston, you think that's going to be the last one? Did you not notice what I noticed? That they're clearing out other areas down there? Did you not notice what I did? Apparently you didn't. They're clearing out other areas on that riverfront in case you didn't notice. I say riverfront is a bay, but they're clearing out other areas. I used to do construction. I'm like, oh, y'all are just getting started. What they've done on the waterfront in Savannah, now even though those are not as tall, what they've done on the waterfront in Savannah, that's what they're getting ready to do. Oh, that's what they're on their way to doing in Charleston and Wilmington. You know, where our Black Wall Street was, where they terroristically overthrew a black government. Now they want to make sure you never return. My folks in Wilmington, you've seen what they've done on the waterfront down there. They got a Ruth's Chris and all that right there on the waterfront. Now that boardwalk ain't nothing to brag about, but you see where they built their little yuppie apartment complexes and stuff overlooking the water. They got their Ruth's Chris right there in the middle of it and their donut shop. They are playing no games, people. They're making sure, oh, once we take this, there ain't no going back. And what I'm saying is, by the way, when was the last time that you heard Roland Martin speak about that? Never wary. Mark Lamont Schill, never wary. All these old black media people in the places that y'all are trying to be in today. People, do you recognize I don't even talk about my old stomping grounds in Dallas, Texas anymore? I don't even talk about Dallas anymore. Dallas is done. It's over. If you ain't papered up, you ain't gonna make it in Dallas.
Come on now.
We don't have Oak Cliff anymore. We don't have University anymore. I talked about that a decade ago. They got the illegals squatting in that right now. The illegals and the developers are taking all that now, bruh. It's done. Black folk are hiding out down there in DeSoto where they've been for the longest. But you see that whole damn interstate heading down into DeSoto. They building shopping plazas on either side of that damn thing all the way straight down.
Talk about it. You coming my stomping.
You can see what the next 20 years is going to be. They're nibbling away at DeSoto, but they're already biting on it. And you can't do nothing with it. Downtown Dallas, done. Addison, done. Mesquite, done. Plano, been done.
Yep.
Arlington, done. Fort Worth, we can't move like that in Fort Worth. Irving, done. Grapevine, done. It's not on its way to over. It's over.
And I live in these
It's not on its way. Las Colinas, done.
Las Colinas, all of them. I've been living in all of them.
I don't even talk about the Dallas Metroplex anymore.
Come on now. Talk about it.
That's why you see me talking about Atlanta. At least you still have a sizable black population there.
Let me show y'all something in real life, in real time. I got my motherfucker.
At least we have a sizable black population there.
My spaghetti.
In the chat room, Timothy Harden needs to give us a call.
On deck.
So glad that he's got some gems of wisdom to give here. Timothy needs to be on the telephone lines here, so I guess that's as good a segue as any. The telephone lines are now open, and Timothy needs to give us a call. He's got 2 minutes to be on the line. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the only black media outlet that we got left that deals with the economics, the X's and O's, and talks about your life, where you are and where you living. Tom Joyner was in Dallas and didn't say a word. Tom Joyner was sitting right there in Dallas for decades, didn't say a damn word. Then again, he didn't need to. He was living so fat, literally. He was living so fat and living so good. Tom Joyner was living so fat and living so good. He couldn't even see things going downhill where the hell he was. And he didn't care because he had his.
Exactly.
All he wanted to do was sit up with a bunch of other aged out old niggas and go on their damn cruise ships. Okay, but the kids out here on the street that you ain't did nothing for getting out the mud, they can't go on no cruise ship. They got to get theirs. They sit back here and ain't did a damn thing for those of you out here struggling. And worst of all, they won't even talk about it.
I did what I had to do, man.
I'm being nice.
Y'all know where
these are some of the developed places we talking about right now. I'm being nice, people. You see the exact same thing shaping up down in Biloxi, Mississippi. You see it happening in Birmingham, Alabama, Interstate 20. Now they finished that bull job they were doing in downtown Birmingham, Legacy Arena. You know where this is going? Anybody who's driven through Interstate 20 through downtown Birmingham, you see them skyscrapers down there. You see what's coming. I don't even want to talk about what's happening in the Gulf. I don't even want to talk about what's happening along Interstate 10. As soon as you come back over Interstate 10 from Florida, I don't even want to talk about that. I talked about that years ago. The word is already out. That's Alabama. You don't want to talk about Houston down to Galveston. You can keep flooding it all you damn well want to. It's too damn valuable. Folks ain't going nowhere. Just like Florida. Ain't nothing you can do with that. It don't matter. And that's the nice one. Austin, Texas used to be a place that you could go ahead and get your groove on, and you didn't have to worry about some of the things. Austin is just about gone now. The mayor literally said he wants that to be the San Francisco of Texas. San Francisco, you know, the place with the most out of control real estate prices in America? Yeah, the mayor saying he wants Austin to be San Francisco.
I got things I gotta do, like other videos to put up. I got some eating to do, and I got some other things to do. It's a trap guy, man. I ain't delusional about this shit. It's real out here in the trap game. Y'all ain't gotta worry about what I'm telling you and showing you. This is the archives of it. This is this bullshit that's going on. The ones that already do it, or rather by the time we see it on paper, the development of it taking place has already been started, and this is in its development phase. So, anyways, we'll figure it out. We always do.